All right, so today's lesson is on literal equations. Literal equations don't have numbers. Well, a few of them do. Most of them have just all letters, but you do them the same. So here's our first example. D equals RT. Solve for T. All right, I'll give you a few minutes to write that down. D equals RT, solve for T. All right, what does it mean by solve for T?
You have to find the missing solution.
Kind of. Anybody else? What do you think it means to solve for T? All right, it means to get T by itself. So we're going to draw our line. And we're going to circle the T. So I need you to do that. I need you to draw your line and circle the T. And we're trying to get T by itself. What letters with T right now?
R.
R. Okay, we need to move R. Somebody other than Cadence tell me what RT means. What are these two things doing to each other right now?
Multiplying.
Very good. They are multiplying. Who is that?
Caleb.
Good, Caleb. All right, they were multiplying. So we need to do the opposite of multiply. The opposite of multiply is to divide. So we're going to divide both sides by R because we're trying to get T by itself. So we're going to leave the T alone. Those cancel out. And you're welcome to write your answer like that, but on a multiple choice test, they're always going to put whatever you're trying to solve for, they're going to put on the left. So they're going to write the answer like that on a multiple choice test. That's the one that you would find. T equals D divided by R. Okay. Does anybody have a question before we do another one? All right, P equals F over A. P equals F over A. We're going to solve for F. We're going to solve for F. P equals F over A, and we're going to solve for F. Okay, so we're going to draw my line. And let me have somebody who's here. Jaden, what letter am I going to circle?
F.
Good. I'm trying to get F by itself, so I'm going to circle the F. That means I need to move the A. I need to move the A. Well, let's look and see what we have right here. What does this line mean to do?
Divide.
Good. It means to divide. So we have to do the opposite. All right, you need to do the opposite. So what's the opposite of dividing?
Multiply.
Good. So we're going to multiply both sides by A. Those cancel. And if you want to write your answer, A times P equals F, that's fine. But on a multiple choice test, whatever letter you're trying to solve for, they're going to put on the left. And that would be your answer. Does anybody know another correct answer? F equals?
F equals P times S.
Good. Because in math, that's the same thing. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times 5 is 10. So it doesn't matter on that one. Okay. All right, number 3. B equals C plus A. Solve for A. All right, write this one down. B equals C plus A. Solve for A. All right, AJ, what do I want you to do first?
You gotta draw the line down the middle and circle the A.
Very good. You circle whatever you're trying to solve for. Excellent. Good job, AJ. Okay. Heidi, what letter needs to move away from the A?
C.
Yep, we have to move the C. You have to move the C. Right now, the C is being added. QJ, what do I do instead of adding? QJ, I think you're muted. What's the opposite of adding? All right, let me make a note real quick that he's not answering. Okay, can somebody answer for him?
Subtracting.
Good, so we need to subtract C. We're gonna subtract C, so those cancel. So the way you write your answer is B minus C. You write it all on one line equals A, and that's fine, okay? I would accept that. But remember, on a multiple choice, they're gonna put A equals B minus C, okay? This one, the order matters. So up here, 2 times 5 is 10, 5 times 2 is 10. When you're subtracting the order matters. For example, 10 minus 5 is 5. But what is 5 minus 10?
-5.
-5. So there's only one correct answer on this one. Okay. All right, let's do another one. Number 4. X minus Y equals Z. Solve for X. All right, give you a minute to write it down. X minus Y equals Z. Solve for X. All right, Orlando, what do you do first?
Do you circle the C?
Huh?
I mean the X.
The X. Okay, circle the X. You're trying to get X by itself because you're solving for X. So you circle the X. Cadence, what needs to move away from the X?
The Z.
Nope. What needs to move away from the X?
I mean Y.
The Y. Sierra, what am I going to do instead of subtracting Y?
You're gonna add.
Very good. I'm going to add Y. Those cancel. So I get X equals, Gio, what do I write for my answer? X equals what?
Z plus Y.
Very good. That's your answer. That's it. All we're doing. That's all we're doing. Nice job, Gia. All right, number 5. C equals 2 pi r. Solve for r. Does anybody know what formula that is? C equals 2 pi r?
3.14.
Well, pi is 2.14, good, but what is the formula for C equals 2 pi r? Anybody remember?
Isn't pi 3.14?
Yeah, 3.4. Sorry, I said it wrong.
Oh,
But what does the formula mean? Anybody remember what it's for?
It's repetitive number.
I think you said it, circumference. Circumference of a circle. So if you have a bicycle wheel, it'd be how long the rubber is around the bicycle. It's the circumference, okay? All right, Daniel, what do you do first on this one? You're making it too hard. What do you do first?
You move the 2 and the pi away.
Okay, I'm going to draw my line and circle R. And you are correct. You are going to have to move the 2 and the pi. You're going to have to move both of those. You have to move the 2 and the pi. Eric, you can type this in chat, Eric. What are the 2 and the pi and the R doing to each other right now? What are the 2, the pi, and the R doing? Are they adding, subtracting, or multiplying, or dividing right now? All right, Caleb, can you help them out?
I don't know.
All right, anybody, what are the 2, the pi, and the R doing right now?
Multiplying.
Multiplying, good, Daniel. This is 2 times pi times R. When there's no symbols, it means they're multiplying, okay? Chase, what's the opposite of multiply?
Repeat.
What's the opposite of multiply?
Divide.
Thank you. So we have to divide. Guys, since they're multiplying at the same time, we can divide at the same time. So we're going to divide 2 and pi at the same time. So all of that cancels out. And you just drop this down. So C over 2 pi equals R. That's your answer. On a multiple choice, they're going to put the R over here. They're going to flip it. And that's what you'll see on a multiple choice. That would be your answer. Does anybody have any questions before we do a couple more? All right, you do not have to. All right, power equals work divided by time. Solve for work. Power equals work divided by time, solve for work. You don't have to write anything down yet. You do need to write when we start doing the work for it. What, somebody other than Cadence or Daniel, somebody else, what do you think would be a good idea to do on this problem?
Highlight work.
Okay, Anybody else?
Highlight divided by time.
Okay, that is going to be important. Let's go ahead and make a math equation from this sentence. So instead of writing power again, what could I write? Anybody?
P.
Okay, I could write a P. And then equals, I'm going to put the equals symbol. All right, somebody other than Cadence, what could I put for work?
W.
Good, Caleb. Okay. What do I put for divided by?
Multiply.
Not yet, not yet. Right now we're just making it into a math equation. What do I put for divided by?
A line.
Okay. And then for time, somebody who hasn't answered, what should I put for time?
T.
T. Okay. Now I'm going to solve for W. Okay, now I'm going to solve for work. So I'm going to circle that and draw my line. Okay. Brian, what letter needs to move? Brian, we didn't hear anything. Are you muted? All right, let's try somebody else. How about Will? What needs to move? What letter has to move away from the W?
The T.
The T. Naz, this is dividing. What's the opposite of dividing, Naz? All right, let me write down the people who aren't answering. Okay. Alexis, what's the opposite of dividing?
Multiplying.
Good. So I have to multiply by T. So those mark out. And Kamari, how would I write my answer?
W equal P times 2
Good.
times T.
Good. And guys, you could also just write PT. You wouldn't have to put a multiply symbol because PT means multiply. Good job, Kamari. Okay. You could also have W equals PP. That would be correct too. When you're multiplying, the order doesn't matter. Okay. All right. Y equals XZ to the third. Solve for X. Y equals XZ to the third. Solve for X. All right, Alejandro, what do I do first?
You have to circle the X.
Good, so I draw my line, circle X. Heidi, what needs to move?
The Z.
Good, and Z to the third, that's all together. So we're gonna move the Z to the third at the same time. QJ, what are these two things doing right now? Adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing?
Multiplying.
So the opposite of multiply is to divide. So we're going to divide both sides by Z to the third. Okay. So let me have Caleb. What would be my answer?
X equals Y divided by Z.
Yes, sorry, I accidentally just muted you on accident. I was trying to do something different. All right, good job. X equals Y divided by Z to the third. Very good. That would be your answer. Okay. All right, last one together. Energy is the product of mass and the speed of light squared. Energy is the product of mass and the speed of light squared. Solve for mass. Okay. All right, Sierra, what letter do you want to use for energy?
E.
Like we're on Wheel of Fortune, Sierra. Nice job. All right, what about energy is the product? Anybody know what needs to come after the E?
Equals.
Good, Will. Equals. Okay, is means equals. That'll come up some more next week. Is means equals. Okay. Does anybody remember what product means to do?
Multiply.
Good. Product means to multiply. So we're going to be multiplying two things. We're going to be multiplying the mass. So we'll use an M and the speed of light squared. So for speed, I'll use an S. What else do I need on that?
The square.
Good. A little two. Okay. All right. Geo, it says to solve for mass. So what do I need to do?
Draw your line and circle M.
Good. Eric, what do you do next? I'll look in the chat since your mic isn't working today. Good. And Kamari, what's the opposite of multiply?
Divide.
We gotta divide by S squared, okay? Chase, what would be my answer? Nas, what would be my answer? Jaden, what would be my answer?
A squared equal E. I think.
Okay, what letters by itself?
A squared equal E.
So we got
Oh,
M by itself, so M equals E divided by S squared. So that's my answer. M equals E divided by S squared. Okay. All right, try this one on your own. Area equals length times width. Solve for W.